day 3 here at Royal Ascot Ladies' Day, and the feature is the Gold Cup. And Matt, you've joined us again. It's a big race, lots of chances there.
It really is the big race of the meeting. The Ascot Gold Cup is so unusual, being over 2.5 miles, particularly for the foreign raiders that we sometimes get. There are very few races across the globe that are over 2.5 miles on the flat at this kind of level. So a lot of these horses are doing something even over here that they've never done before, unless they've raced in this race or something like the Queen Alexandra or Ascot Stakes at Royal Ascot in previous years. So it's a unique race, and even if your horse stays 2 miles strong, it doesn't mean you'll stay the 2.5 in a Gold Cup.
Lots of chances there in Colour Vision, Saddler's Rock. Which way are you going?
It's a fascinating race, rattling through some of the changes that you might not particularly just come straight to your eye. Colour Vision visored for the first time. Sai Bin Sarua thinks that will help the horse light up a bit. It'll need to, because Colour Vision has been pretty rubbish since he won the Ascot Gold Cup 12 months ago. If you back Hijinks, you will be praying all the way round that the horse puts in a finish. Very hard ride, hangs very badly when push comes to shove, and it will need all of Graham Lee's coercing of Hijinks to get that one to put its head in front. As the form slightly tells you, Hijinks doesn't like to win. Rite of Passage hardly ever runs. It would be unbelievable to think a 9-year-old could go and win the Ascot Gold Cup, but trained by a genius, Dermot Weld, who keeps getting Rite of Passage to perform at his best on the odd run he has. Time's Up will be a lot fitter than the first run this season, and wouldn't be a bad roughie at a reasonable price, formerly trained by John Dunlop. He won the Doncaster Cup, now in the care of his son Ed. Simonon for the brilliant, probably arguably the best jumps trainer in the world currently at the moment, Willie Mullins. Simonon ran twice at this meeting last year in a condition staying event and a handicap, but Group 1 company is very different for a horse who also likes hurdling. And towards the bottom of the card, of course, we have the favourite, Estimate. Now, I'm going to put my neck on the block, and you can laugh and play this back tomorrow. Estimate will not win the Gold Cup. Firstly, very hard for fillies. Secondly, I don't really get the feeling Sir Michael Stout fancies her that much. He feels she's only the sort of favourite or very near the top of the market come the off time because she is owned by the Queen, and no king or no queen of this country has ever in the history of the Gold Cup won the race. What you want to know is what I fancy. Well, maybe you don't, but you're going to get it anyway, and that is Saddler's Rock. Third last year. A tricky ride, not as tricky as Hijinks, but a horse who can often pull hard in the early stages unless there's a strong gallop. Usually staying events have small fields. Today we have this cavalry charge for the Gold Cup, which is very unusual, and I'm hoping there'll be at least 1 or 2 nutcases who go off fast in front. It could be Colour Vision, the previous winner with the visor. It could be Earl of Tinsdale, the German raider who is a natural front runner over shorter distances. Johnny Murtagh has to ride Simonon because Declan McDonough is now the stable jockey for John Ox. I have a feeling Murtagh would swap from Simonon to Saddler's Rock if he had the choice. He, of course, rode Saddler's last year. And finally, I believe Saddler's Rock has the right conditions to run a big race.
Okay, we kick off the day with the Norfolk Stakes. What are your thoughts on that one?
Just think Coach House will win for Aidan O'Brien. Been very impressive in Ireland. Got beat on the debut, won the next 2 starts. The horses that Coach House has beaten have gone and won maidens in Ireland since. So the form is stacking up well. And they haven't just gone and won maidens, they've gone and won big field maidens as well, suggesting that the form is solid. Aidan O'Brien usually has a good one for this, and I think Coach House will win.
A good push for Alive O in the Riversdale.
Alive O has come from nowhere just about. The fascinating thing about this horse, you'll see the name Foley as the owner of this horse, Mrs. Foley. Mrs. Foley is the daughter of J.P. McManus, who won on the first day here. You'll know the green and gold hoops, as mainly associated with jumps racing, and I know jumps racing around the globe is not as popular as it is here, but you may have heard of a horse called Istabrack, who made history by winning the champion hurdle 3 times. Well, that effectively is the family that owns Alive O, and I have a feeling she's pretty good.
Anything else we should keep an eye out for today?
Sadler's Rock is really my main selection. The handicaps, as always, are a minefield, and you know, you can pick a horse who runs well and finishes 15th. The King George V Stakes, which is at 5:35, the closer on the card. I'm a massive fan of Eshtiao for Brian Meehan. Paul Hannigan, retained by Hamdan Al Maktoum, is on board. So if you wanted one at a reasonable price, it's Eshtiao. But to be quite honest with you, it's all about Sadler's Rock. If Sadler's Rock wins, I'll be coming down in the royal carriage tomorrow because I'll have bought it.